Hello folks, welcome back to Caves of Qud. So, yeah, there was the big patch incoming thing. The big patch is not here yet. It's just now come out in beta. And it will come out in about 1 or 2 weeks, is what they've said. So I was thinking of either opting into the beta program at first, but I'm probably not going to do that. We're going to stay on this right now and just play a character until the patch comes, and then we're just going to get right into it straight away. Because the beta right now, it's early. It's an early beta for the new patch, and it's not the most. It's probably not the most stable and stuff. Would be kind of interesting to look into it, but you know, I have 1 or 2 weeks. I can wait. So yeah. Sorry, I'm still coughing. It just won't go away. I'm sorry about that, but yeah. So yeah, I'm just going to start a new character. Let's not do the daily challenge for now. Let's just start a normal character. And since I have about 2 weeks, we can, you know, I can actually try to play this character kind of properly and not be as sloppy as I was, because I thought the patch would come any day. Yeah, I've completed this week's challenge with a score of -880. I'm really good. Okay, so let's replay the most recent character. I think we're just going to do, because it's kind of fun, let's just play Carbide Handbones and do some fun stuff. Start in Joppa and now Punchy Patty. We're Punchy Patty, how about that? So this is just, again, a basic Carbide Handbone character with Trukin, Child of the Hearth, starting out with the Carbide Handbone, so we're going to fight without weapons. We have equipped the Carbide Fist, and we're going to dual wield. So we have to find a not hand light source. Why are you... Shit, we need to talk to this guy. Oh, fuck. Okay, so we're not going to get the Red Rock quest. I don't know why these guys are attacking each other. So the Warden is killing the folks of Joppa. I have not seen that happen before. Okay. That is certainly interesting. That is certainly interesting. Wow. So, are you going to kill the Elder as well? No, you're not. I don't know what made them hostile to each other. Okay, well, so we don't have the Red Rock quest, which is kind of interesting, but I think it should be alright, because what actually sets the quest chain in motion is Archive stuff. So I believe we might be alright, even if we're not doing the Red Rock thing itself. Yeah. Well, stranger things have happened, I guess. So, let's check these. A few copper nuggets. That's fine. Some relaxing guitar strumming. So we have a leather apron. That's fine. Let's talk to you. We're still gonna go... Sorry about the coughing. I'm sorry. We're still gonna go downstairs because I do want to find that miner's helmet. But we can't get the quest now because the guy was just murdered. Just completely obliterated by the Warden. I mean, sure. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, that is fine. With silver nuggets, we can actually... No, not for now, but maybe later on. Okay, so let me just explore this. Take a look at that. The location of Kiaralil, where is that? It's way south. Okay, that's fine. So let's just go over here and go down into the waterlogged tunnel and see that we can find the thing. We don't actually need to go to Dreadroot now, so we can just, once we find the corpse, we can just say fuck it. And that's probably what I'm gonna do. Let's collect the daggers. Again, we're playing a high strength character. Need to keep that in mind, that we can just collect a bunch of crap and sell it. Alright. Oh, wait. Let's just quickly talk to the warden and get his glow sphere. Oops. Yeah, there we go. You can have this nonsense. And all the torches. Alright. We don't have any grenades or anything, don't we? No. So no trading with Argive right now. And that's fine. So, waterlogged tunnel, level 1. Let's get the early game over with. I wonder if there's any consequences for not doing the Red Rock quest. If I'm like, we're not going to get a bunch of injectors, right? So, but that's hardly like, you know, it's not really a problem. So if I buy the glow sphere, I should probably equip it. You know, that's always a good idea. So let's just punch our way through this. Take a look at this painted iron longsword. We're just going to take the whole thing with us, because we're probably gonna fetch a nice price. And we're now level 2. Okay, so we're just going to keep collecting the points right now. We only have 16 intelligence. Yeah, that's not great, you know. With this type of character, we're going to be pretty dependent on these points. So it actually makes sense to start with a higher intelligence, because especially the dual wielding tree, that takes a lot of skill points. So yeah, there's kind of a flaw in my build right now. Should probably go higher with that. Whatever, we're going to have to. Maybe I'm going to put 1 or 2 points into intelligence and not into strength, because we're already pretty good at strength. Let me just quickly see cudgel proficiency. So we need 29 strength for slam, which is reachable. I don't know. Let's see. Let's just murder the baboons and go downstairs. So I'm going to collect the iron daggers. Take a look at the engraved shortbow. Yeah, just a bit of history. There's another iron dagger, a bronze dagger. Let's just collect these daggers. A worn banoose. And that's going to be on our backs now, because for some reason wearing that increases our ability to dodge. I'm not really sure about the mechanics of that, you know, the in-world mechanics of that, like how it does it, but we're just getting a little bit quicker from wearing it. Okay, let's see, copper nuggets, five copper nuggets, that's nice. So the upcoming patch is really interesting though. So what it does is it, in their own words, it is a stratification of the underground and it adds about 50 new creatures in the underground. You know, it's a lot higher, not just in the underground, it just adds about 50 new creatures, and apparently it makes the underground much more interesting. So I'm really looking forward to that, you know? It's kind of fun to just walk around the underground. But, you know, like, really interesting stuff is just few and far between. And essentially what you're mostly doing is you're just walking through areas such as this constantly. And there's a bunch of amoebas. And amoebas can be kind of tough at the start, so let's try to be a bit vigilant here. Okay. Yeah, they do some damage. Let's go up. Okay, only 2. That's them. Rest up, go down, kill the other ones. Yeah. And they give 25 at this point. That's actually kind of alright. We might do some underground exploration, actually. Hey, you know what? Let's get... Oh dear, where's my stuff? Here we go. Let's get the first... Let's get the thing first. The miner's helmet. And the sphere of negative weight. And once we get that, or not find it, I guess, we're going to do some more underground exploration for now, before the underground becomes more interesting, because it's not in the main branch yet. So, But you know, might as well get into the mood and then have a better point of comparison. But yeah, it's again one of those huge feature updates, and always looking forward to those. Okay, another seed-spitting vine. Should try to get our hands on some kind of a ranged weapon, because that's again the biggest weakness of this build, is that you're just not very good at ranged stuff. So we have 18 agility, so that's kind of okay. We should be fine. Oh dear, hello. Come on, punch you dead. Alright, there we go. Bronze dagger. The daggers generally, I'm just picking them up because they have a good ratio of weight, because they only weigh 1 pound of weight to value. Thing is, the daggers kind of not. Like, the daggers are not that great, but the bronze daggers, I mean, they're not that great. Iron daggers are better, but you know, still good. Also, because we can just carry a lot of stuff, it doesn't really matter. Okay, here we are at the underground river, so that's nice. And we got a whole lot of level ups, so what we're gonna get is bludgeon. Yeah, we're gonna get bludgeon. Are we gonna get conk yet? No, let's get backswing first. Get conk later. Alright. And yeah, let's just explore this. Cannibal willowy furs. Okay. How does that work? How can furs be willowy? Oh shit! It is a slug snout. That's kind of tough at this point. Are you gonna come closer? Yes. You just need to get into melee with them, and then you're fine. But they can kind of shoot you dead at this point. I think that's how I lost my last character, if I remember correctly. Ah, there's the corpse. No, that's just bones. Okay. Yeah, the corpse comes later. Yeah, that would be weird. I don't want to talk to the Dreadroot, I want to cook. I just created the campfire right underneath that Dreadroot. Also kind of like that it refuses to speak with me. Like, it's not like that it cannot talk. It just thinks that I'm an asshole. So it won't speak to me. Okay, so studded leather, bark armor, nah. We're going to stick with the apron for now. Alright. That's that. Nowhere else to explore, let's go north. Let's try to find that one all-important corpse. Okay, now we are actually in the waterlogged tunnel. So we are now fighting null worms and crabs, which is kind of good at this point because it nets us a lot of experience. Attribute point. I think I'm going to put that into intelligence so that we can just gather more skill points. You know, now that we have that at 18, we're kind of fine, so we're going to put the rest into strength. Alright. I forgot, we can just slam through everything. Tend to forget that, but that's the cool thing if you do a culture build, is you can just bash through every wall, or through most walls. The more strength you have, the more walls are bash throughable. Oh, there's a bunch of ranged stuff that we just need to lure next to us. I can go downstairs here. Interesting. There's a chainmail. I think I'm going to use that. Yeah, chainmail is good. It has 3. So we have 8 armor value, 4 dodge value. That's fine. We're going to go mostly for armor. So just want to reduce the amount of damage we take as much as I can. And there's some fresh water here. Let's go like that. You know. Some bear jerky. Tasty. Shit. Ah, see, that's really the problem here, is that we cannot really... That we, you know, if we are in an open space and we get pelted by some ranged enemy, we're kind of in trouble. Okay, that might have been a seed-spitting vine, but no, it was a slug snout. Okay. Yeah, we're earning some good experience here, at least. Okay, so, weird artifact. It's a defoliant grenade. Okay, that's something we can give to Archive, so we're just going to get that. There's a small box, which is the box of crayons. White-brimmed hat, that's nice, but not for us. White-brimmed hat is a good early dodge value item. Can you stop shooting with your shotgun? Thank you. Alright. There's a concerned ape. No, albino ape, I guess. And a stun gas grenade. Okay, so we have already enough stuff. This might be a problem. Can we kill it? Yeah, we can. Good. Alright. Let's go south. Kill these things. Level 7. Indeed. Okay. So now that we have that, we're going to get basic dual wield. And then... Oh, we do have heavy weapon, don't we? Tank sweep. I've never played a heavy weapon character because you find so, like... It's not that easy to find heavy weapons in the game. It tends to be pretty late in the game, so we might actually do that at some point. Since we already have the basic strapping shoulders, you know, we might just try it. We have a high strength character, which also makes sense for that, so, you know. I think that up there, that might be the one. You know, the white sploosh there. That's probably the thing. Indeed it is. Okay, so now... oh, the sheaf of tattered parchment is illuminated this time. So, we have the credit wedge, we have the miner's helmet, we have all the good stuff. So, miner's helmet. We're going to remove the glow sphere. We already have... we already have basic dual wield, so yeah. So Boxfan asks, did I already have a tutorial on my YouTube channel for Caves of Qud? No, I don't actually. That might be actually a cool idea. I might actually do that at some point. The problem right now is that tutorials are pretty quickly outdated because of the game being constantly evolving in early access. So sometimes I get comments on the first few videos which are like, hey, why don't you do this? And the reason why I don't do this is because it wasn't in the game at that point. So, you know, maybe I should just do one and just update it periodically or something. But that might be a good idea, actually. You know, to just have a more focused tutorial. Kind of do a, you know, we usually don't really do edited videos on the channel, but maybe that would be good. To do a sort of scripted, edited tutorial thingy for Caves of Qud. Because, you know, the game is kind of daunting for new players, so... Thank you for the suggestion. I will keep that in mind. Maybe do a multi-part thing there with hey, character building and you know, all that kind of stuff. Thing is, I'm also not like usually my commenters are better at this game than I am, so. But you know, some newbie pointers. Yeah, and explaining the stats and that kind of stuff. That makes sense, yeah. The stats are actually pretty easy, and like there's not that much to it. But you know, they are pretty determinate. Like this is for this and this is for that. So it's actually, but yeah, it maybe would make sense to explain that stuff. Maybe do a few build suggestions, you know. Stuff that just kind of works. One of the really cool things about Caves of Qud is obviously that there are not really like this is the build, you know. There's a lot of stuff that is viable, and with every build you are liable to get just murdered at some point, because you know, there's nothing that is really overpowered. But there's stuff that works in different ways, right? Like this type of character is pretty good at just running through and punching everything. But yeah, stuff like espers, which kind of you know, which are kind of rough in the early game and kind of fiddly, which is why I usually don't play espers, which is sort of like psychic mutation stuff. But if you are able to take an esper to the late game, you can just wreck shit, as one would say. Okay, so we have a boss here. Snapjaw boss is not too much of a problem. That would be okay. Disliked by pariahs. Okay. So those might be hindrance pariahs, by the way. Let's just do a slam, and that's it. Pariahs goes up. I wonder if it's hindrance pariahs or if those are different factions. So But yo, right. So the Hindran of Balar, the Hindran pariahs are not part of the Hindran of Balar because the Hindran of Balar are not allowed to. So once you leave Balar, you're not allowed to come back as a Hindran. So, pariahs. It doesn't actually tell you anything about them, but yeah, we're good with them. I think those might be the Hindran pariahs, so we're already good with them, so eh. But killing a Snapjaw boss, always good, because the only thing that happens usually is that the Snapjaws hate you a bit more than they did before, and that really usually doesn't really matter. Because they already hate you, and you know, there's not really. It would be actually kind of interesting if they put like late game super strong Snapjaws in. I would actually enjoy that, you know, like just indiscriminately murdering Snapjaws can actually start biting you in the ass later on, so that it's not just this. So right now, Snapjaws are just this fodder faction, essentially. You know, they're essentially just cannon fodder. You just murder them by the hundreds and collect their stuff. Hey, +1 to hit for the rest of the day. Nice. Got lucky while cooking. I don't know why I'm still going north, by the way. That was actually not what I wanted to do. I actually wanted to go back already, but, you know, fighting these things kind of makes sense at this point, so that's good. Attribute point. We're going to go with strength now. Should we get... I don't know, we're not good enough for ambidexterity. So I think we're just gonna get other stuff. So I'm gonna get conch. Oops. And we're going to get basic cooking and gathering. You know, all the useful stuff, the basic useful stuff. So cooking and gathering is good so that we can start buffing ourselves up with meals. That's actually pretty useful. You know, so that we can start actually using the food that we have. And yeah. And you know, conch is just a good skill to have. So you make an attack with the cudgel at an adjacent opponent, you automatically daze the opponent. And yeah, right, so we are with bludgeon, we're already like dazing them and stunning them, so... Or are we? Has that changed? Wait. 50% chance to daze your opponent, indeed. So, and so you can just knock them down, and that's really useful against single stronger enemies. So, yeah. And single stronger enemies is something we're gonna have to deal with at some point, so that's that. For now we only have an armor value of 8, which is not that great for now, but yeah. Nowhere else to explore? I think there's a lot of stuff here. Huh, for some reason the auto-explore just bugged out for a moment. Freeze grenade, okay. Let's just collect this stuff, and I think we're just going to turn back because it doesn't really make any sense to go for the... We're already at Red Rock. You know, this is the first screen of Red Rock, and this is where the Gershlings are. Thing is, we don't have the quest, so it doesn't actually make any sense to get the Gershling and take it back. So, we're just going to go back right now. We're going to go until we are beneath Joppa. Now we are beneath Joppa. And how about we go into the underground for a bit? It won't actually... It yeah, it won't actually, you know, right now the patch is not active yet, so I'm not in the beta, so, you know, we don't have all the interesting underground stuff for now. But, you know, it's still kind of cool to do in the early game. I'm going to chart my progress here. Yeah, right. It's fighting your evil twin. Yeah, this build is irritating to fight indeed. It can probably, I have never done this, but it can probably like, can punch you a lot. Has probably a high penetration. And stun you and daze you constantly, right? Probably not very fun. Oh, earthworms. Oh, that might actually be slightly troublesome if there are too many of them. Oh, fuck me. It's a... Oh no, it's a Gershworm. It's not a boss, right. Let's be careful. Okay, the corrosive gas took care of a lot of this. Okay, that was that. Alright. Ah, that's Mirthworms. Fighting Mirthworms is cool in the early game. That will net us a lot of experience. So, I'm just gonna take that. Except that the Honey Skunk was also fighting the Mirthworms. Mods that you recommend to install for newbies, like quality of life things. I don't play with mods. There was one thing that I think there's a better status bar mod. You know, that just makes this a bit better. I don't play with it right now, but that was actually kind of useful. So it just orders this stuff in a better way. But I'm not really the person to ask for mods, because I tend to just play the game unmodded. I never really went for that. You know, I've been playing this game for like years now, so I got kind of used to the way the game is and plays, but I think there's some cool stuff there, so might find some cool stuff. Again, the status bar mod is kind of useful. I checked that one out, but kind of went back to not using it. But that might be a good one. The thing is, with this status bar, you can't really order it. So once you get more attacks and more abilities, it kind of clutters it up, and you have a lot of not useful stuff here. Like, it doesn't really make any sense that you have stop sprinting up in here, for example, and make camp and this kind of stuff. Usually this the skills here is best for, you know, to just monitor your cooldowns and stuff. You know, it makes sense for that. So to have it ordered in a better way, it's actually kind of neat. Oops, no, this. Okay, we're just going to collect the water right now, because why not? Is there anything in here? There's some wine in here. Thing is, we're picking up the whole clay pitcher again, so let's pour this into another container and get reminded that it's not my own a billion times, and there we go. So now we have some wine. There's a lot of stairs here, interestingly enough. We're just going to do a few screens of underground here, and yeah, and we're gonna see. So yeah, I'm going to stop the recording, the archive recording here, and we're going to be back in a second.